Ma'am, are you saying something? You're on mute.
Hi, Ashish. Yes, I am. I'm talking to Sir. He's called
Sorry.
on.
Okay, okay.
Okay, I need you guys to change the name and say that your team up build as well. So
Yeah, yes. Of course.
questions.
Let me just call Ahmed.
Yes, Upin, I received the file. I'm downloading it. Did you hear me, Upin?
Yeah.
Okay.
So guys, who is on the LinkedIn and who is on the Zoom?
Ashish is
Ma'am,
on.
I am, sir, I am managing the Zoom and Ahmed will be on LinkedIn.
Okay.
Yeah, Ahmed, you were saying something.
Yeah, no, I'm just getting ready. Upin, I'm gonna hang up now if there's nothing else.
But it opens up and everything is okay, right?
I'm still downloading it. I'm still trying to find it. I will call you if it doesn't.
All right. Okay.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on which part of the world you're joining us from. We are international, we are global. First, let me ask you, can you all hear me? Type in a yes in the chat if you can hear me. Yes, you can hear me. Wonderful. Thank you. Well, I'm excited to be here with you. My name is Seema Giri. I am your moderator for today, and I'm joining you from San Francisco Bay Area in California. So type in the chat and let me know, where are you joining us from? Where are you joining us from? Let me know. This is going to be a dialogue, and the dialogue is going to be a little bit different, where it's going to be through chat for now, and then we'll open up the mics later. New Delhi. Okay. I think we're going to have quite a bit of people from New Delhi. Where else are you joining us from? And also, as you're joining, also let me know where you're joining us from. And if you have a project management certification, also let me know in the chat. If you have a project management certification, what certification do you have? Do you have a CAPM, a PMP, PGMP, PFMP? Let me know what it is. Okay. We're just going to give a few more, a minute or so to let people join. And then we are going to get started. Okay, so as you're joining, please let me know, where you're joining us from, which part of the world are you joining us from? And if you already have a certification, which certification do you have? Mr. Jairam is saying he is from Ramesh from Malaysia, planning to take the PMP soon. Wonderful. Deshaun is saying he's from Jaipur, Rajasthan, India. Oh, what wonderful. You know, when I used to live in India, Jaipur used to be one place where I would just sneak away, not even tell my husband, grab the kids and sneak away for a couple of days. You know, when you're in project management, you got to do what you got to do to make sure you are taking care of yourself and getting the projects done. So you have a PMP. Chandan Sethi is from Bangalore. Welcome, Chandan. Welcome, Jairam. Welcome, Ramesh. Welcome, Deshaun. Yeah, as you're joining us, let me know which part of the world you're joining us from and what certification you have, if you already have. And if not, by the end of today's session, we'll make sure you're on your way to the right certification for you. Okay. So where I am at, it is 7:30 in the morning. And I got up very early today. I was talking to my daughter yesterday, and she said, "Mom, you've been working really hard all week. It has been a very hectic week. You get to sleep in tomorrow. It's Saturday." And I said to her, "Nope, I have to be up at 5:30 because of this amazing webinar." So, you know, it doesn't matter what hours of the day. When you love what you're doing, it doesn't feel like work. And I love sharing this information and education, and it's amazing. Safia is saying she is from Labuan Island, Malaysia. It's 10:32 p.m. there. Wow, thank you for staying up and joining us this late. She's doing PhD studies on generative AI. Amazing. Wonderful. Okay, so let us get started. I want to be mindful of your time, and let's get started. So you have, this is the PM Insight Lecture Series, and today's session is called the PMP EDGE, How the Certification Can Boost Your Professional Journey. I am Seema Giri, your moderator for today. I'm also the Chief Growth Officer for Upbuild. I am a 6-time international best-selling and award-winning author, speaker, and mentor, and I've dedicated over 20 years, it's close to 30, but don't tell anyone, Okay. That makes me feel like I've been around the planet for quite some time. As long as I don't look that old, it's fine. We have trained over 100,000 individuals, and in my role, I manage the global learning initiatives that is focused on project management certifications, collaborating with key stakeholders to align the educational strategies with the business objectives. And I oversee the execution of learning projects, ensuring high standards and impactful results while continuously refining our approach based on the industry trends. And I am also a PMI ATP instructor, and I deliver the expert-led trainings, mentoring professionals through their certification preparation, and my passion for ongoing professional development. And I like to be right there on the ground with you all. That's why I still continue to do trainings myself. And we have our very special guest, Ritesh Agarwal. He's not just a guest, but he is a dear friend of ours. We've known him since, oh gosh, Ritesh, I think I've known you forever. I believe since 2010. So Ritesh is an IIT Delhi alumnus. He's certified PMP, ACP, and SAFE for certified engineering leader with 22 years of diverse cross-functional IT experience. He has served as AVP at both Birlasoft and Global Logic, where he's demonstrated expertise in operational excellence and delivery services, process known for driving employee satisfaction and empowerment. He has also excelled in pre-sales and corporate branding. As a disciplined agilist and passionate agile coach, Ritesh has worked as an agile transformation consultant, helping teams successfully adopt the agile mindset. So Ritesh, welcome. So happy to have you here today.
Good morning, ma'am, and thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for having me here, share the stage with you as well. It's an honor for me.
Oh, thank you so much. Okay, so we'll get started with our session with Ritesh in a second. But before we get started, I want to tell you who we are, what we do, and why you should listen to us. So this is Upbuild at a glance. We excel in project mastery. Anything to do with project management, we provide the end-to-end solution. We have over 30 years of experience. We've served over 500 clients, the Fortune 500 clients. Our global reach has been in 25 countries. And I said earlier, we've trained over 100,000 professionals. Our journey started back in 1999 in the US. And then in 2003, we had moved to India and started serving the globe from there. And our founder, our visionary founder, also my partner, Upendra Giri, has received an Eric Jennett Award. Now, this award he received in 2009, and this is one of the highest awards you can get from Project Management Institute that we call PMI for short. And in 2009, not only was he the youngest person to receive this award, but he was also the first Indian to receive this award. So we're all very, very proud of him for this huge accomplishment. Oh yeah, he also founded the PMI North India chapter. He's the founder and trustee of that. And, you know, since our journey since 2002, we have set up and supported over 100 PMOs. And we actually have been one of the pioneer companies that has invited PMI to India back in the 2002, 2008 period. They did not know the capabilities of what India had to offer. So we said to Gregory Ballester, who was then a PMI CEO, and Ian Fraser, who was the chairman of the board, and we gave him a tour of India and showed him what Jewel India is and what it had to offer. So after China, India is the only other country that they have opened 2 offices, one in Mumbai and one in Delhi. And since then, India has just flourished with project management professionals and the capabilities that it has. And we just had a South Asia PMI event that our team had gone to, and it's just been amazing since then. So we're very proud to say that we were the catalyst of starting this movement since then. So we provide services, we provide as a strategic performance management, digital transformation, ESG and sustainability training and certification. Now, we have also been responsible for training some of the top professionals in India, from police reformation to the IS officers. Upendra, our CEO, has been really instrumental in creating a major impact in those areas as well. So we're really proud of the work that we have done so far. But one of the things that we are most proud of supporting and helping our professionals to really change their trajectory of their life. Some have even made generational impact because of working with us, because of getting the certification and seeing how and allowing that certification to take them to the next level in their life. And in the US, I've trained, our partner, Upendra, in India has trained all the military and IS professionals and government, and I do that in the US. I've trained military, really special groups like the Black Hawks. If you've seen the movie Black Hawk Down, those are the specialty groups that only does nighttime missions, and I've been able to support them to really understand project management, how they can run their multi-million-dollar projects. Now, you understand with the military, Navy, regardless of which part of the world, it is, it's a life and death situation. So we're very proud to have been part of that legacy for them, where they can really grow and shine. So what's one of the differentiators about us is that we are on the ground, really learning continuously, and then being able to share that information with you, bring it back. So PMI just had their major global summit. I attended in Los Angeles, and these are the amazing leadership people that I got to meet. On the right, the second picture on the right is the PMI CEO. And then the picture on the left is Ben Breen, who is initiating the new construction management certification that we are on the ground working with him very closely. We'll share that information more with you. And in India, our team, our CEO, Upendra Giri, has been to the project management global summit there, the South Asian conference. So you see, regardless of which part of the world we're at, we are on the ground, understanding what the new developments are, learning continuously, and then bringing that to you. So we're here to talk about how the project management certification, particularly PMP, can really help you grow in your career, right? How can we become better project leaders? And I want to show you through this video that PMI has created, what is the demand of project management? Sometimes we think, project management, it's not as popular as it used to be, or with generative AI, how is the world going to change? Is it really necessary? So I want to tell you that by the year 2027, they're expecting, PMI has done the research, and they need 25 million project professionals. That is the need. So you can imagine what the growth is. So I'm going to see if you guys can hear my video. Can you hear that? No?
As we adapt.
Okay. Yeah? Okay.
As we adapt to new ways of working and prepare for future disruption, organizations will see a growing need for skilled project managers. The PMI 2022 Jobs Report showcases emerging sectors and trending industries where project leaders can find opportunities to drive growth and innovation in every region of the globe. Countries in the Asia-Pacific region expect their economies to grow in 2022. Meanwhile, talent is in high demand in many countries and industries. While China's economy has experienced a slight slowdown, a number of factors should contribute to increased project activity, including consumer spending increases and China's energy transition plan. Supply chain disruption and rising energy prices, along with rapid digitalization, are driving an increased demand for project professionals in Europe, especially in IT. The current conflict in the region will have long-term humanitarian and economic consequences that will require response. There has been a spike in demand throughout Latin America for project managers, particularly in the technology and manufacturing sectors. Rebounding oil pricing, government investment in high-profile mega-projects, and international events like Expo 2020 Dubai and the 2022 FIFA World Cup promise to reinvigorate the region's economy and need for project managers. The Great Resignation and supply chain problems have put job seekers in high demand in the US and Canada as companies look toward automation and digitization to protect against future disruption. Despite the pandemic, the global demand for products manufactured in South Asia has continued to increase over the past 2 years. As a result, companies are willing to invest more in project managers with strong innovation and leadership skills. Nearly a third of global aid, roughly $32 billion, is spent in Africa, and that's fueling new development jobs across the region, up to 45% of which will need project talent. The demand for project talent is high around the world. Are you ready to take your career to the next level?
So I am sure you are ready to take your career to the next level. So let us hear from, let's get started with our discussion with Ritesh. And our intention for you to understand from our session today is to really understand, how certification can help you. And also we'll tell you that in order to, on your journey to get the certification, you do need to have a 35-hour mandatory training. And in this 35-hour training, we guide you to exactly what is covered on the exam. We go step by step, tell you the tips and tricks on how to pass the exam, because it is very intensive and it is not only time intensive, but the time it takes to study and understand. Now, this exam is not something that you can just memorize all the things, all the processes, and then take the exam. This is a senior, mid-senior level certification, and they test you on how well you apply the knowledge that you have gained, right? So it's about how do you handle yourself in different situations, and it's about really, they test you in a way that they get to see how well you can apply the knowledge you've gained through the training. So that is what we're talking to you about here. And then our intent, and also we want to showcase to you that this one certification is so amazing that it doesn't matter what background you have. I have a finance and accounting background, and I am certified. Ritesh has the technical background, and he's certified. So I've just recently given a whole training around certification, the PMP certification, to a marketing department. So you'll see how, this is such a versatile certification that doesn't matter what background you're in. This is really going to, you can get it and support you regardless of your background. And then at the end, we have a celebration segment where we will be joined with another amazing individual who's just recently passed his PMP, Jerry Bren. And we'll get to hear his experience from the most recent exam perspective. So we're here to help you, guide you, and show you what's available. And then you'll have an opportunity to talk to our team members to see if we are a good fit and how we can support you in furthering your journey towards the certification and project management. So Ritesh, Thank you so much for being here. I am so excited to speak with you. And let me tell you, you have such amazing accomplishments, and I'm so proud of what you have created. What we didn't share with you is that Ritesh has created his ideal life, and at this point, he works when he chooses to work, and he very carefully selects the projects that he wants to be at. We all strive for this, but very few are able to actually accomplish it. So congratulations, Ritesh.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks a lot. So, Siva
So,
ma'am,
yeah,
sorry,
go
but
ahead.
I think you and Upendra sir both have this kind of magnetic personality. So I think you guys should typically add this kind of introduction into the build as well, because people, once they will meet you, no one can ever forget either of you. And
Aw.
second thing is, you mentioned that I had a good span of career, but I think I owe the success. I literally mean it. I owe the success of being a decent manager and further into the career to Upendra Giri sir, because when I met him, I was on the edge of getting into the managerial line or the
Mm,
track, and he guided me, he mentored me, not just for PMP certification, but even from the practical stuff. What should be your mindset? But how should you operate? His objective was not to get a PMP certification done. His objective was to create a good manager in the IT industry. So that's
yes.
what you guys do. Not just focus on the certification, but create good managers.
Thank you. Thank you for that, Ritesh. Yeah, and that is our intent, because the certification is a vehicle to the
Yes.
destination that you want to get to, right? You are an amazing project manager, or that you what capabilities you have. But how will the world know at a glance? So when you have these three letters after your name, the world knows three things
Yep.
instantly. One, that you know the global best practices. Two, that you're a seasoned project manager,
Yep.
and you can get the work done, right? So that's the visibility that you want to get really into some of the key work that you want to do, work in. So, Ritesh, you also are from IITs. Just to share the journey, how has that IIT journey really positioned you in creating the path that you wanted to create, and then how has the PMP certification also
Sure.
taken you to the next level?
Sure. So I did my mechanical engineering, not computer science. I did mechanical engineering from IIT Delhi in 2002. And I believe IIT teaches you not the core domain, rather it teaches you problem solving skills, logical reasoning, how to see the challenges across the world and how to solve them in a holistic way. That's what has been built into our DNA from the IIT culture. Yes, I started my career into IT industry, worked with Infosys as a .NET developer, but I believe people management and taking on the challenges head on has been my core strength from my childhood. So I opted for managerial track somewhere in 2010. That's when I got in touch with Upendra Giri sir and Astrovix during those days. Uh, I think that was one of the great decisions I took in my life. Meeting Upendra Giri sir, getting those 4 days of training, as you mentioned, 35 hours of training for PMP certification. It was it was really a life-changing period for me. At the same time, I think after a few years, so after the PMP certification, I think I applied those learnings. So one part is definitely getting those knowledge and the skills. But when you apply that into your regular job, it becomes your habit, and that leads to a success. So I
Mhm.
think I have been instrumental, and I had a good career in a managerial line. And during around 2014, 15, if I'm not wrong, Agile came in picture. That's where my further learnings into PMI ACP certification and then Safe Agilist in 2018 went through. I have always seen Agile as another vehicle to achieve your objectives. Just like you have different brands of cars on the road, similar to that, traditional waterfall or Agile or something else are different kind of vehicles. But at the end, I believe you do whatever you want to do, it has to be managed. Not just in IT industry, even into any industry you talk about. So any kind of project, any kind of program has to be managed. And coincidentally, yesterday I saw a small quote on LinkedIn, which touched my heart so heavily that I thought I'll bring it in this session as well.
Yeah, please share.
Being a manager is easy. It is just like riding a bike. Being a manager is easy. It's just like riding a bike. However, just remember the bike is on fire, you are on fire, and everything is on fire. So you have to understand all the challenges. You have to take care of everything. You are on the fire to still deliver it. So I think I love the quote so much that managerial job is something wherein you have to take care of everything. You own the results, you own the team, you own everything, and you still have to deliver.
True, true. You must be hearing my dog barking in the back. There's there must be some animal or something running around, so
No
I
shit.
apologize for that. And I think he's going to continue doing that, so you know, please ignore that. Yes, so yeah, that is, I love that quote that you shared. That is true. You know, you as a project manager, there's so many things that you have to balance at the same time. Now, and rather than saying project manager, I would say as a project leader, right?
Absolutely.
Because you're in leadership. As soon as you're in that role, you are in leadership, and there's so many things you have to manage that is within the internal project environment, and you have your external project environment, what we call environmental enterprise environmental factors, right? Where you have so many things that you're juggling with, keeping up with the market conditions, keeping up with the various stakeholders. And, you know, like we saw in COVID, as project managers, when we're planning, we have contingency plans. We assess our risk, but then these are risks that you could never, ever expect to encounter, right? And you just have to move very, very quickly. You have to be really agile. So in the transition from, you know, when it was really heavily focused on waterfall, when you had gotten a certification to Agile, how was that transition, not only for the project managers, but also for the company? And I'm going to ask the team to spotlight Ritesh. I'm going to go off mute and see what's happening with my dog as you're sharing that, Ritesh. And I'm also going to ask if Upendra, if you are online, if you could also just hop in case I'm not back in time. Ritesh, go ahead.
No worries. You take care of the dog, and definitely, like I'll share my journey from a traditional waterfall manager to an agile consultant coach, and what has actually changed over that period.
Yeah.
So don't worry about that, sir. Yep, I'll do. So I think, as I said, with the you talk about any domain, or you talk about any the evolution of the IT industry, the management role has typically remained the same. You have to manage within the given constraints. If I'll really talk about a traditional waterfall cycle around 15 years back, we used to learn scope, cost, quality, schedule as the primary parameters. Even today, if I'll talk about agile or safe or any such methodology within the agile mindset, I think we still manage everything. We still manage stakeholders. We still manage scope. We still manage quality. We still manage cost. We still manage schedule. We still do risk management. We still do communication management. It's just the different, the style of working has become, or has changed. I believe the core requirement or the core fundamental is, or the core expectation is still the same, but let's talk about stakeholder management. Earlier, we just used to talk to the stakeholders and ask what kind of requirements we have to deliver. These days, Agile talks about collaboration in terms of the customer requirements and the success. It's a stakeholder management only. We talk about risk management. We still identify the risk, we still quantify the risk, we still prioritize the risk, we still mitigate the risk. We talk about change management. Change management is, again, earlier we used to track all the changes very, very specifically and explicitly. Now with the Agile Scrum ceremonies, you do it every sprint. So overall, the ways of working would have changed. The mindset would have changed, the expectations would have changed, but the core fundamentals of project management and driving the project to a success, I repeat, the driving the project to a success within the given constraints still remains the same, and that's the expectation from any manager into any industry. Seema ma'am, I saw you are back. Feel free to interrupt or feel free to share anything.
No, that's amazing. I heard you say how it has really been the foundation, the core things that we learn during the
Absolutely.
certification process. So that
Absolutely.
is amazing. So you also have your ACP certification.
Yep.
Right? What made you feel the need? You know, sometimes many people feel we already have a certification and this is going to be good enough. What made you feel the need to take the next step, the next level, and get the Agile certification?
I think around a decade back, Agile was the biggest buzzword. And if you really want to be successful into your career, I typically say you have to stay relevant.
Yes.
You, apart from your knowledge and skills, whatever you have gained so far, you have to think beyond for at least next 2 to 5 years, what's upcoming, how the industry is evolving. So as I said, Agile was the biggest buzzword at that moment. I really want to make sure that Agile or agility is something which I enhance, which I use to enhance my project management skills, and deliver successfully, talk to the customers in a relevant way. That's where I think uh, overall that was the necessity at that moment to stay for staying relevant in the industry and to really grow further. Having said this, people do feel that Agile is very different, or Scrum is very different from traditional waterfall management. But I think I specifically mentioned the core concepts remain the same. It's just like Agile showed a different way of working. It's still the same management which you still need to deliver, but it's just a different way of working to take care of some of the challenges which we were seeing in the traditional waterfall style.
And that's true. So, you know, one thing as a project manager, whether you have whatever certification you have, one thing about being a project manager, being a project leader, is being agile to begin with, even if you're doing the waterfall method, right? Because you have to be able to manage change very quickly. Now, what just happened here, where I had to step out for a second, this is like a real life project. This webinar is a project and anything can occur at any time.
I understand.
Right? And then you have to be able to be really flexible and adaptable to be able to take care of things. And this is what happens in the real world. So as I say, if you're, whether you have the certification or not, but if you are a project manager, you are leading projects, you are a project leader, you are a change maker. Because when you define a project is anything that has a beginning and an end, it's finite, it produces a change. And then you as a project manager are the ones who are managing the change. So number one, you better be able to adapt yourself.
Adapt.
And even though change is constant in our lives, it is one of the most difficult things for people to really embrace, right? We're going through it every single day. And so far, Ritesh, the only person that I have seen that loves change is a wet baby.
I understand. Yep, that's a
Yeah.
good one.
Yeah. So then when you're learning these different ways of working and getting these, understanding what the global best practices are, it really adds on to what you are doing. Now, so we've seen this evolution of project management from waterfall to agile, and now there's another element added. And I think that's also what your last project was, Ritesh, right? Can you share a little bit about that?
So I hope you're talking about the last project which I did on the generative AI.
Yes.
Perfect. So I think with again these days for last 2-3 years, AI, intelligence, or the Gen AI has been again a high demand skill as well as expectation in all the in all the companies. So to be honest, I won't be able to share the specifics about that program because it is confidential and there is a no
Yes.
disclosure agreement. But
Definitely.
yes, overall, we delivered a platform which would help one of the biggest uh, Fortune 500 company across the globe to automate some of the regular uh, activities, and more importantly, using the historical data, generate some real good strategic insights. Sorry, there's a power cut at my end, so my video might be a little bit off. So that
No problem.
platform was supposed to create data insights and help the leaders to take some strategic decisions based on those data points, as well as there were definitely a lot of government compliance as well. But over I'm just thinking what all I can say, because if I'll just try to speak more, somehow I might take the name of that company, and that would be a little bit difficult
No,
for
no,
me.
we don't want that. No, I
Yeah.
appreciate what you've shared so far. So let me ask you this. What really prompted them to start using generative AI? What was that one critical decision that said, okay, now we're definitely going to do this?
I think there were multiple needs. One was the repeated tasks which we were doing, and definitely a lot of things can be automated. Second is we humans are very good in terms of identifying the situation and taking the decisions. But
Mhm.
when it is all about really applying some uh, intelligence on the historical data and predicting the future, how it may come up based on the historical data and the current situation, I think uh, that kind of data analytics as well as that kind of intelligence is probably still missing into human minds. So
Mhm.
that's what we try to implement and develop.
And I guess, even the ability to do it as quickly as AI can do for you, we just don't have that capacity.
Absolutely.
Yes. And to give you the various what if scenarios also. So when you implemented this, what was the reaction of the stakeholders, those who were actually going to be part of implementing execution and implementation of this?
It was a wow moment. It was a wow moment for two reasons. One, the we delivered something which is very fresh and new, something beyond the expectations for them. Secondly, it it increases the further expectations. Okay, now you have already delivered this thing, deliver this more in next 3 months or 6 months. So the expectations were also on the top of the sky post that. So, but
Okay.
yes, it was really a wow moment. We never imagined or we never dreamt that we could see these kind of data analytics or these kind of insights from any such platform. So that was the biggest wow moment I have ever seen in my life.
So what about resistance to using AI? Did you find that?
I don't think so. I believe the resistance is when you are repeating, or when you are automating some of the specific support activities or any such thing which a normal human being is doing, and you're replacing a human being with with an automation or tool or platform or something. I believe the resistance will come into that picture. But when you're really generating some additional things which are normal, as I said, which a human being would not have dreamt of, it is a new thing. It's always good to have. So at least
Yeah.
the platform which we developed, I never saw any kind of resistance, but definitely I have heard many stories wherein AI is replacing lot of manual human activities, and there's a lot of resistance. I have heard many such stories.
So what do you think, Videsh? Because you have implemented this project, do you feel we should be afraid that most of our jobs are going to be replaced with AI?
I don't think so. I don't think so. In fact, I'm also a part of the same journey. I'm also riding the same vehicle. My personal opinion is the level of work which we have been doing will increase. We would need to be more skilled. We will need to be more intellect. We would need to get rid of regular monotonous activities and apply our human mindset and bring some innovation. Uh, but yes, I don't see any kind of, as you said, or as the word is thinking, job layoffs and other things. I don't see that happening due to AI.
Yeah, I think we should really consider AI as a partner, as another strategic tool for project
Absolutely.
managers to really use it to get their work done faster. Now, when we are going through the certification process and we talk about the project documents that you need to create as a project manager, it is 33 documents by itself, right? So
Yeah,
then you have all the details in it as well. So that just adds it. So it becomes really a book by the time, more
I
than a
agree.
book, right? It's a very thick manual. And that's a lot of information. So and that's a lot of work for the project manager to make sure all of these things are created and implemented and reviewed. So AI can really help you create those various documents as well. And PMI is really pushing AI as well. They have their own, they call it the PMI Infinity. It is their own version of AI. And now at the last Global Summit, they said they've rolled out 2.0, PMI Infinity 2.0, which is now taking it to the next level. So it's really becoming intelligent. And what's different about the PMI Infinity compared to ChatGPT is that it's curated just for project management. So you can make sure that you're getting real-time, accurate information through there. And you do need to become a PMI member to be able to use the Infinity, but they're really, really using AI to help, build that support system for project managers to be able to, create the different project templates that we have to create, the different reports that we have to create, the analysis and trends that we want to see, also look at the various risk factors. I mean, there's so much depending on what industry you're in that you have to evaluate. And so it gives you a really good predictive insight based on, the information that you're putting in. So it's here. So either just like when computers started and internet started, either you jump on the bandwagon early on, be an early adopter, and make your life easier, because sooner or later you're going to have to use it anyway.
I agree. I think overall PMI has been very much adaptive. I would say adaptive to the evolution of management persona, as say. I do remember, or I have seen the PIMBOK third, fourth, fifth, sixth, currently seventh edition. The way the content, the certification process, and everything has changed. I really love reading the PIMBOK edition almost once a year, because it gives me a reinforcement and it keeps me aligned to how the industry is evolving. So not just the PMI Infinity 2.0, which you are saying, even the certificate has also adapted to the evolving world, including the agile principles or the agility per se into the curriculum. So I think PMI is a true example how you need to stay relevant in the industry.
Yes, and I'm glad you brought that in. What version of the PMBOK was it when you took the exam?
It was fourth.
4, okay. I did it on 3. So PMBOK stands for Project Management Body of Knowledge. And that is a guide for us to use to study for the exam. And it used to be very, very, very boring, very boring. And now we are on PMBOK version 7, and it is beautiful. It is so easy
Absolutely.
to read. It is so engaging. It's just unbelievable. So, you know, this exam questions and the PMBOK body of knowledge is put together through global project managers around the globe, project leaders from around the globe. So these are people that are on the ground that are seeing how the world is handling running successful projects and then putting it in a guide for us. Now we've talked about that it has changed from waterfall to agile. So now for those of you who have maybe taken this certificate, the mandatory 35-hour training a couple of years ago, 5 years ago, or 8 years ago, or even 10 years ago, because the PDUs don't expire. But so if you think that you can just use that and apply for the exam and pass it, that's not going to work. Because now we're teaching the waterfall method, the agile method, and hybrid. So you as a project manager, as a project leader, get to assess what kind of project structure you have, what kind of project you're running, what is the complexity level of that, and what methodology should you be using? Is it waterfall, is it agile, or is it hybrid? And hybrid is nothing but using the best of waterfall and agile. There are going to be certain segments of your project that you can use waterfall for, and you can use agile for. So,
and
go
more
ahead.
importantly, I think PMP prepares you to be a global manager, not specific to your local country or any
Yes.
specific industry. It teaches you the core fundamental management principles, and you can apply it into any industry, any geographical customer, any domain customer, anywhere, even in your personal life as well. I have applied some of those principles into my personal life and have been successful.
Yes, it's a way of life, and thank you for bringing that up. Also, yeah, everything I do, everything that we do is based on the Project Management Foundation. Now, I would like to invite on the team. I request you to highlight Jerry Bren. We're now moving into the celebration segment of this, and we'll also get to hear from Jerry how the exam was based on the PMBOK 7 version. So you've heard from PMBOK 3, Ritesh is from PMBOK 4, and Jerry is the latest on PMBOK 7. So Ritesh, while Jerry is coming on, what word of advice do you have for our aspiring project managers and those who are thinking of going to the next level?
So the very first step is to take a decision and start. So don't think for a longer period, just decide and start. And I believe this I would not say that PMP certificate will just simply boost your career from A to Z. It is the first step to upskill yourself, to gain that knowledge and learnings. Definitely you have to apply those learnings into your career. But I think the first step is to upskill, and PMP gives you that edge by getting all of those learnings in just 4 days. That's what I had the experience of. Definitely, when you prepare for the certificate exam, you gain more deeper knowledge. But getting the certificate done is the first. Second is apply those skills and knowledge into your career. Third, I believe personally, your mindset, your attitude towards the managerial role is also equally important. It's all about taking ownership. It's all about doing things differently. It's all about data driven, it's all about results oriented. It's all about people management. Consider team members as humans and not just resources. So I think your skills plus your mindset will make you successful. And to be a successful manager, PMP is one of the greatest step to achieve that level.
Wonderful, yes. And for those of you who are looking into the certification, you need to have the qualifications, the eligibility criteria is that if you have a college degree, you need to have 3 years of project management experience. It should be not overlapping projects that you're working on. And if you don't have a college degree, then you need to have 5 years of project management experience. And again, non-overlapping projects there. Welcome, Jerry.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me.
Wonderful to have you here. Congratulations. Let me give you this reaction. Let me just wait for this. Congratulations.
I feel so blessed. I feel so lucky.
Yes. Well, Jerry was part of one of our a partner training program that I was a trainer for, and it was wonderful to have him there. And he just passed his exam last week, is it?
Last Saturday, yep.
Last Saturday, yes. And so now we have the ability to take the exam at the training center, the exam center, or from home. Which one did you do?
I did the training center.
Training
And I
center.
felt like I was going through the TSA. They frisked everything, pull your pockets out. Like they want to see everything and make sure that, you know, because people are writing all the way up here on their arm. They're like, well, you know, if just study. Like
Yes, yes. So looks like you followed every single one of my advice to the T.
you know, I kind of hesitated a little bit, but then I started like doing my research on YouTube and whatever, and every single thing that they were talking about was exactly what you said. You know, dedicate enough time, make sure you have the PDUs, you know, make sure that you're studying at least an hour a day, you know, make flashcards or find, you know, some sort of website out there that gives you practice exams. So I did all of that, incorporated it, lo and behold, I passed. Imagine that.
So Jerry, for people to understand, tell us a little bit about what you do. What is your background?
So my background was originally coming from television production. And then I moved into mortgages, which got me inside some of the big banks. I ended up as a project manager under one of the larger banks in their securities division. And one of my first projects as a business project manager was essentially just reviewing all the data and making sure that everything flowed properly, moving from one platform to another. It was essentially one big bank acquired another big bank, and they needed to migrate all these applications to another platform. I went on to another bank. I did a straight waterfall project back in 2014. And everything was clearly defined and they knew exactly what they wanted. And I had to design all the documentation and we had to march forward. And we're looking at, you know, like a 16, 18-month project to completion. As Ritesh was talking about, a lot of those things are different because eventually I did find myself in the world of e-commerce. I did find myself in the world of an e-commerce company where each of their brands operated separately. So they all had their own separate websites, and I had to manage and maintain all these documents for all of these different websites. And I see Ritesh is laughing because he knows exactly what I experienced.
Absolutely. I agree.
You know, and then I found myself in retail, you know, and not even with an e-commerce site, but you know, I had to figure out all the back end nuts and bolts and how the pieces fit together, you know, and I was doing all of this with a basic Six Sigma green belt certification, which never expires because I'm lazy. I don't want to do the extra work, but this kind of pushed me, and then I get into like healthcare. And healthcare is like, we have all this regulatory and compliance, and you need to operate to these standards. And I was like, okay, light bulb, it's time to take the PMP. So I'm so grateful that I did, and Seema, you were probably the greatest person I encountered along the way because you transferred the most amount of knowledge from you to me. I just acted as a sponge. I absorbed it, even though I fight everything a little bit. Eventually, I got on board. I did my homework. I did my studying. I planned properly because that's what a project manager is supposed to do. And then I executed. I went in, I took that test. I was confident. I didn't have any inkling in the world of I'm not going to do this. I'm like, yes, I'm going to do this. I went, I did it. And now I get those 3 letters in front of my name, on my resume, on my LinkedIn, all over the place. And I'm a top candidate. I have recruiters that are still, hey, we want you. We need you. They all want you because you have an internationally recognized 3 letters after your name that will essentially just give you more clout. And in the long run, if this is for you, make you more money. So yeah, it's a win-win.
We love the last part, make you more money. And when you're making more money, you're doing what you love. And when you're doing what you love, you get to make that impact that you want. Our goal is to make a difference in billions of lives, and we can't do it alone. And you've seen the research that PMI has sent is showing us of the need of the project managers. I mean, 27 million is one, but I think they were talking, I can't think of the top of my head right now. They were talking about another project that was coming up. I think in Paris, they're doing something. And for that alone, they needed like 25 million for what they're doing. It's not coming to me. I will let you know what that is. But yeah, the need is there. And, having these 3 letters gives you that visibility and access to more amazing projects. Do you feel that way, Jerry?
I do. It's funny that you mentioned, helping and saving because I just got connected with a healthcare startup that's essentially running software in terms of biospecimen collection and tracking, which in turn turns into some medications that need to get approved by the government, which could save millions, if not billions of lives. So yes, absolutely agree.
Yeah, your role is one part of these bigger visions, and every single role makes a huge difference. And that's what we talk about when we're talking about managing teams, right? They need to understand how critical their particular role is to the overall vision, so then they know what a difference they are making. We're all doing this because we want to create a better world, a better future for our children, right? Where we can all live in harmony. And this is one of the vehicles in order to help us do that. I mean, we've directly impacted over 100,000 people, but indirectly, that number is probably 10 times more. When Ritesh is living the life that he wants and the value that his family is good, he's spending time with his family and doing what he wants, when he wants, how he wants. How beautiful is that? And when that's impacting his family, when they reach out to other people, it's impacting them. It's a ripple effect. And same thing with Jerry. So, Jerry, what is the word of wisdom that you would like to share with our attendees today?
I think the word of wisdom is if you understand how to be a good human to other humans, that's really the caveat when it comes to being the conduit between the person that's barking, I want this, and the person on the other side that says, well, I can only do this. Like it's literally just, I had to learn this the hard way with my children. It's conflict resolution.
Yes.
And no matter what happens, as long as no one gets hurt and no one dies, it's okay.
Yeah.
And whatever work you're working on, if you don't get it done today, it'll be there tomorrow. Just all these little things, like, and it really just comes down to effective communication. If I can treat other people the way I would like to be treated and communicate effectively, no project is going to go wrong.
Yes, that is very true. Thank you for that word of wisdom. Now, when you join us, you are joining a community. It's a family. So you can see from our two guests today, you know, Ritesh, we've known forever. Once you join us, we don't leave you.
You guys are such magnetic that we can't even think of leaving you guys.
Yeah, it's one we consider like a family. We support each other and guide you the best we can with, because we're always current with information. We're on the ground. You know, we're the kind of people that we roll up our sleeves and do, you know, do the work with you. So that's another thing that makes us a little bit different from other training providers, is that we both, the, you know, the co-founders, our CEO Upendra and I both have the certifications. We have the hands-on experience on the ground, and we remain that way as well, and bring you through the PM lecture series information, through our various guest speakers, you know, the current information. So thank you, Jerry and Ritesh, for being here. It was such a pleasure having you, and we're opening up to any questions that you might have. So
Seema ma'am, if you allow
yes,
me, I'll just share a small thing. I
yes.
think I have been hearing a small phrase for last 8-10 years, which is worded as customer success. You, whatever you do, you think about customer success and you do it accordingly. This has been a buzzword again for last, as I said, like a decade. But honestly speaking, I have seen it in action. I mean it. I have seen it in action during the year 2010 when you guys again helped me to get the PMP certification done. So you guys just don't focus on the certification or the training. You guys just empower the new members of your family to be successful. So that's what I have seen. The customer success, or our success is your success. That has been your motto for Astrovix and Upbuild, and I can easily vouch for yourself, for Upender Grisar, and for the entire team that, guys, once you will join here, nothing will be left behind to stop you getting that success.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Ritesh. That really means a lot. You've touched my heart. And it's true. Your success is our success. And when Jerry called me last week, no, earlier this week, and he said that I've passed the exam, I actually, in my workshop, I ask you to raise your right hand and promise to let me know that I would be the second person you inform when you pass your exam. And they all take it very seriously, because it is, when he told me that, I felt like I got recertified. We really take it to heart, and we do whatever possible to help you really get
Absolutely.
through that. So
Thank
Ritesh,
you.
one of the question is, how can PMP help with the digital transformation journey?
First of all, I believe we all understand the meaning of digital transformation. It is not just you automate or digitize any, let's say, old legacy application into a new application. It is considering the holistic view of the entire ecosystem. You design or redesign the business processes. You design the entire data or process workflows. You coordinate with tons and tons of stakeholders. You need to bring a change across an ecosystem. It is not just limited to a specific software or an application. So a digital transformation is a journey, a huge, big journey, which has to be managed very, very, very thoroughly, very deeply. And as I said, like PMP gives you a knowledge on the core fundamentals, not the ways of working, but the core fundamentals, why you do that, what is the impact. So once you understand those core fundamentals, whether it is digital transformation or Gen AI program or any such program, it will always make you enabled and empowered to drive those changes and manage all the things.
Yes, very true. And we focus on the triangle, right? We have the, does that look like a triangle? The triangle. Which is one arm is learning about the business environment. What kind of business environment do you have, and how to tell what kind of business environment you have and what the different structures are. The next is the ways of working. These are your processes and stuff. What are the right processes to use at the right time? And in addition to what can you tailor based on your specific industry? And then the third angle of the triangle is about people. How do you get people to do the work that they need? How do you motivate the team? How do you form a team? And how do you, do the continuous regular monitoring and control? When we're talking about the processes, if you remember the acronym IPAC, it starts with initiation, planning, execution, monitoring and control, and closing. And you're doing this continuously throughout your project. So we give you the guidelines of what are those specific activities and processes that you need to follow that. So that's the core that's the core principles and foundation that Ritesh is talking about, right?
Yep.
So that's the thing. And so another question that's coming up is, how long does it take for someone to, from the time they take the certification training to taking the exam?
I think let Jerry answer that. He has been the latest.
Yes. Jerry, are you still here?
No issues. Seema ma'am probably saw it.
Let me see, just a second. Yep, he's still here. I will pin him.
Meanwhile, till Jerry is, yeah, okay, he's there.
Sorry, I was, I'm muted. The moderator is doing a really good job here. So, yeah, for me, I took the course and I had every intention of scheduling and taking that exam quickly. But, I make a plan. God laughs at me. It's just how my life goes every single day of my life. I probably waited close to a month before I actually scheduled the exam. I scheduled the exam probably about 3 to 4 weeks later. I had to have this mindset of I need at least 3 to 4 weeks of constant study time. Now, I posted one of the sites that I used, which is the PMP practiceexam.org, which it gives you real life scenarios, which are pretty similar to what you're going to find on the PMP, just in a different way. My cheat was that I had already been doing waterfall, agile, and hybrid for a long time before that. So I knew a lot of the basic principles of what should be done. This just gave me more guardrails in order to know exactly what the correct way to go about it is based on the PMBOK.
Yep.
Wonderful. I'm just trying to see how I can get back on the screen. Okay. Yeah, so it really depends on your study process and how long it takes you. But I had a student, he is Nathan Wales. So what you have to do is you have to complete an application process with PMI. They need to see your experience, and they need to evaluate, you have the right amount of experience and the projects and everything. So you need to get approved. And in order to take the exam, you need to have the 35-hour mandatory training. There we are. I figured it out. So you need to have the 35-hour mandatory training before you can take the exam. Once you take the exam, once you take the training, then you can schedule the exam that you want to take when you want to take. So that is a process. So he had filled out the application before, got approved, took the training, and then as soon as we was done the 4-day training, we were done on Thursday, he took it on Saturday. So that's how quickly you can take it. Depends on your planning. Otherwise, we help you create your 30-day, 60-day, 90-day plan. Right. I suggest you're in the momentum, you take it as soon as possible, depending on, and we take into account when we help you do this planning, we take into account what are some major life events happening, what are some major projects happening. So then you can realistically plan your study plan and take the exam, right? And, you know, like Jerry said, I made him take an oath to let me know. And he did let me know. So, you know, that's how committed we are. And then, you know, you're able to connect with us at any time that you need support with. So, any other questions?
I think
coming up?
there are a lot of practice tests as well available in the market, and you guys also provide that. And
Yes.
I also believe that once any such prospective candidate has given the practice test, the team also helps them to understand or analyze those practice tests and the results and help them take a decision whether you're really ready for the actual exam or you should prepare more. So that kind of
Yeah.
support is also available from Upbuild.
Yes, yes, we do the continuous one, and as we do provide you continuous support, and as Ritesh had said, you know, we're really well known for Asterix, our previous brand Asterix, but now with the way life is changing, and the way the world is changing, we also felt we need to be relevant to the time. So now that's why we renamed ourselves as Upbuild, because we're continuously building up and going to the next level and, you know, helping everyone else. You know, like we said, we want to make a difference in 1 billion lives. There's a question for Ritesh from Pavan Sharmaji is asking, how do you see the PMP in, that's already answered. Okay. Okay, so I want to be mindful of the time, but I also want to take the opportunity to share that we have some exclusive offers for our webinar attendees. Time is one thing that you can never get back, and we really appreciate the time that you've taken to be here with us today and hearing us and letting us share that information with you. And I hope this has been really valuable. So if you are ready, your next step is to make the decision, right? And make the decision and connect with us, because we have our upcoming workshops coming up. The next batch of online classes over the weekend is October 19th, 20, 26, 27. And then November 2nd, 3rd, 9th, the 3rd, 9th, and 10th. These are 4-hour classes during this duration of 4 weeks of 35 hours. So let us know. And this is the number to call. And also ask the team to put in a calendar link in the comments below, because the team is offering we have limited spots for you to schedule your time with the team, and they will guide you what your next step should be, whether you qualify for the exam or not. And any questions you have around this, we're here to support you. This is a no obligation call. You know, we would love to partner with you on this journey, but you know, there are options, and we do understand that. Why would you not want to work with us? You've seen Ritesh and Jerry saying that. So we would love to support you in any capacity. So make sure you click on the link, schedule your time, and see what your next steps can be, what kind of schedule you can create, when our next workshops are. This is the next batch, but we have our upcoming batches if October doesn't work for you. So please do let us know. Team, have you put, I don't see the chat, but have you put the link in there, please? There's a question for Jerry. Being a project and program manager for several years, what changes have you adopted since you have adopted the PMBOK and PMP?
So I just took it Saturday, so I really haven't had much of a chance to incorporate a lot of these tools. One thing I will say is, based on the environment that I've gone to, based on the business unit, the products that they're trying to, make feature enhancements or upgrades for, plus the people, there's always going to be relevant things that as Seema mentioned earlier, it's just all about change. And I found over the course of my career, the last 15 years, nothing really ever changes. It just kind of rearranges, but the PMP in itself, having that knowledge of where to place the guardrails, of where to allow people to kind of, move one way or the other, it's constant constantly adapting to whatever that environment is. And at the end of the day, you're going to deal with people. So if you know how to deal with people, that's going to be your greatest asset.
Yeah. Very well answered. Okay, so to sum up, I want to be mindful of the time. We're a little bit over, but I hope it's okay with you guys because this has been a really interesting learning experience for me as well. And I hope for all of you too. So what we covered today was how PMP can really help you in your journey in the destination that you want to go, how you can become a better project manager, project leader, what the opportunities are once you have the certification. You've seen some real life examples of how it has really changed the trajectory of our careers. We've also showcased to you that it doesn't matter what your background is. I have a business background. Ridesh has a technical background. Jerry, I need you to get me on TV. He started with the TV background, right? And now he is doing these amazing implementation on projects, and now possibly in this new medical startup. So.
Right.
And this just helps you to make the impact and difference that you want to do. So next step is to really talk to us about your eligibility requirements and setting up for our workshop. Because of the time you've given us here, we always love to give a webinar special for our webinar attendees. And because this is going to be an evergreen presentation, the best thing to do is to get in touch with our team, and they will tell you what the current specials are for you. So if you weren't able to make it live and you're watching this on replay, we got you covered. We know, we understand, that you're not always able to be live, but you should not have to miss out on the specials because of that. So before you leave, I want you to text in the chat, let me know what was one key takeaway from our session today, from our time together. What was that one key takeaway? We would love to know what you learned from today that really stood out to you. So another question here I see is that how does PMP benefit someone with over 15 years of experience in the admin department? In my opinion, just like what we've shared, how it's really helping us grow and manage. And as an admin, there's probably different projects and different things that you're managing as well to make sure that your company is progressing in the way that that you want to and need to. It really helps you stay organized, manage and juggle various priorities. That's what we're all doing, regardless of what role we have in the company. Jerry and Ritesh, what do you think?
I'm going to throw one out there. Let's say you're in the possible scenario where you have been laid off, and now you're in contention with all these other people that maybe do the same thing that you do and don't have this certification. They're going to come to you because you have those 3 letters. You've gone through the certification and you know how to keep people within those guardrails. And that's exactly what happened to me. And that's why I did it. And that's why I did it after 15 years of experience.
Yeah.
Yep.
Someone is saying, I'm not seeing the name for some reason, but they're saying, once you get onto the project management journey to excel in all spheres of life. Yes, definitely. It is a foundation of everything I do. I'm also a publisher. I help people publish their legacy books, their business books, that's another way of getting visibility. And that the reason that goes really well for me is because of my project management foundation. And to tell you at a personal level, because of the way we have been living our lives, because of the Project Management Foundation, it has rubbed off onto our children. They have been so more confident in everything they're doing. I've been nervous for the various interviews they've been going on to. They're like, Mom, this is really easy. And I was like, how is it easy for you? And he said that we watched you grow. We watched you do things, and now we have that ability. They're so confident. My son is a commercial real estate broker in Miami, Florida. I guess he's close to you, Jerry. And my daughter is in college, and she's running her own clothing brand for suicide prevention. So, and they're using the reason they're able to do these multiple things at the same time is because of the Project Management Foundation as well. So it's really made a huge difference in the way we have been living. And the way it's having that ripple effect on them. They use the terminology, they use the verbiage, so they're very relevant, and we get such praises from everyone because of how they carry themselves. So it does what you allow it to do, but the only way it can help you is if you step in, talk to us, and get on this journey and see how it can, where do you want to see, and we will guide you in that way. And the certification, these 3 letters behind your name, is going to be the vehicle to help you do that. So, thank you so much for spending this time with us here today. We really appreciate you all, and do connect with us on LinkedIn, connect with our team, schedule your time, and we'll send you a follow-up email as well with the link in case you're not able to open it. If you don't see a time that works for you, or if the times have been taken, let us know. Send us an email, send us a text, let us know, and we'll make sure we get you in. Have a wonderful evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you are. It's been a pleasure. This is Ritesh again. Thank you so much. Jerry,
Thanks
thank
a
you
lot.
so much. And this was short notice for Jerry, and he popped right on. And that's what you want to be as a project manager. Be ready, be available, be adaptable, be flexible. With that, this is Seema signing off with Upbuild Academy, Upbuild Global. Have an amazing day. I'm just going to hang here for a few minutes if anyone has any additional questions. Other than that, have an amazing weekend.
Thanks,
You
everyone.
too. Thank you, Seema.
Thanks, Jerry. Thanks, Ritesh.